Hi, welcome to Healthy Home Cooking. My name is Christina and I'm passionate about two things, cooking and health. In this video, I'll be sharing with you two of my favorite things you can easily make at home with ingredients you probably already have. And they are far superior to anything that you can buy at the store. So what we're going to make today are salad dressings. And sure, there are hundreds of thousands of them on the market to choose from. Why not just buy one? But I'm going to tell you that making salad dressing at home provides you with not only control over the ingredients that you put into your dressing, and they are therefore going to be most likely far healthier than anything you can buy in the store, but there's also going to be a freshness and a flavor that you're just going to get out of mixing it exactly the way you want. It's just going to be far superior. So give this a try, okay? Today we're going to make two dressings, and one is a very simple vinaigrette, and the other is a Buttermilk Ranch dressing, okay? And these are super versatile, and you can use them on almost any kind of greens, or as a dip, or as a drizzle on top of grilled vegetables. You can use ranch in a number of ways for dipping any kinds of foods into. And so we're going to make those two dressings today. So let's get started. The first one we're going to make is a vinaigrette, and I'm going to use a jar just simply because it's so convenient, and it's a great way to shake things up really quickly and get it done. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pick an acid, and we're going to do an acid to oil ratio of 1 to 3, which I find to be kind of the perfect ratio. So I've got a number of oils to choose from, and what I typically have is an assortment in my pantry. I typically always have a balsamic vinegar, which I really love, particularly in the fall. It seems real conducive to fall weather, but you can definitely use that any time of year that you like. The next dressing that I really like, and you've probably read quite a bit about its health benefits, is apple cider vinegar. This is also great in the fall, but really can be any time of year, and it's in fact what we're going to use today. And then there are your standard red wine vinegars and your white wine vinegar. There's actually also a white balsamic vinegar that you can use, and tarragon vinegars or any other kind of herbal vinegars. You can certainly experiment with those. But like I said, today we're going to use an apple cider vinegar. So I'm going to just start with putting in about, like I said, 1/3 of the ratio is 1/3 to 2/3. So I'm going to start with my vinegar, and then I actually forgot something. So let me grab that out of the refrigerator. And that is Dijon mustard, which oddly enough does work super well in a dressing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply add about a teaspoon to my dressing. And what this is going to do is it's going to help emulsify or mix together and blend cohesively our dressing. So we're going to use a little bit of that, and then we're going to add some salt and pepper, okay? And I'm going to just put maybe a half a teaspoon of those things in, okay? And I'm going to just kind of, put a little pinch there of salt in, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic powder. Fresh garlic chopped would probably be a little bit better. You can do that. But powder is perfect for dressings. And then I'm going to use an assortment of dried herbs, and you could use fresh. It certainly would add a ton of flavor, but sitting in this liquid for a little bit will help soften them up and sort of rehydrate or reconstitute them. So really, I think for this dressing, it's totally fine to go with dried. So I've got a combination here of thyme, which I like, just a little bit of, not too much. I have basil, so I'm going to put a little bit of basil in, and when I say a little bit, I'm saying maybe for this jar, maybe a half a teaspoon, okay? And then I'm going to use a little bit of oregano as well, so maybe a little bit less than a half a teaspoon there of that. And so those are my herbs, and salt and pepper, and I've got my garlic in there, and I'm going to I've got my Dijon in there, and I'm going to just go ahead and give this a shake just to get that going, but I haven't added the oil yet, so that's next. So the next thing is to add my oil, and I'm going to pour that in. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of honey at the end to sweeten that up. So I'm going to add just about not even really a teaspoon of honey to this. And the reason for a little bit of sweetness is simply to just kind of take that little bit of an acidic edge off of our dressing, and it just sort of smooths it out a little bit. And that is not really quite enough oil, so I'm going to fill that up. And then I'm going to just simply blend it by shaking the jar. Real easy. Make sure that's on well and give that a good shake. And we're done. I'm trying to get the honey at the bottom, but that's our dressing. How easy was that? All right, on to the next dressing. It's going to be ranch. And for this, honestly, I really love to use the fresh herbs because there's just something about that freshness with the dairy that just works really well. So what I'm going to use for the Buttermilk Ranch is, ooh, surprise, buttermilk. And I'm going to put about a half a cup, or actually just a little bit more than a half a cup, into my bowl. All right, and I'm using an organic buttermilk. And then ranch dressing typically calls for mayo, so I'm going to go ahead and put about a half a cup of mayo in. Okay. And then I'm going to add just a wee bit of garlic powder to that, and a little bit of pepper, just a tad, and most definitely salt. And what I'm using here is a Himalayan pink sea salt, which has just a superb flavor, and it's full of minerals, and so I highly recommend using a good quality sea salt for its health purposes, as opposed to like just plain table salt, which doesn't really add a whole lot to our health. Okay. And then for my herbs, what I've done here is I have some chives that I'm growing out in my yard. So I've taken those and chopped them up, and I've got maybe a little bit over a tablespoon there. So I'm going to put some chives in for a little bit of an onion flavor, which is really nice in here, but it's a mild onion flavor. And then I have some fresh basil always growing in my window sill here in the kitchen, and I like to add that because I cook a lot of Mediterranean type of foods, and so basil belongs in a lot of that kind of cooking, so I always like to have that readily available. So I'm going to add the fresh chopped basil, and then lastly, really the star of the show is fresh chopped dill. Dill, when it's fresh, oh my gosh, it's like no other. It really belongs in this dressing. Again, there's this coolness going on between the dairy and then the herbs, but the dill adds just such a nice flavor to it. So I'm going to just blend this up now and whisk that together. And I mean, really, does it get any easier than this? Okay. So, okay, you probably have most of this in your pantry. If not, get yourself some herbs to keep those in your pantry. Don't keep anything really more than 6 to 9 months. Things sort of lose potency if they hang around your cupboard too long. But you've got salt and pepper. You probably have some oil and some vinegar. Maybe you have to go out and buy some buttermilk. You probably have mayo. So you probably have at least half of the ingredients and can easily get the others. And you'll find lots of uses for these ingredients in all of your home cooking. So I encourage you to stock your kitchen well. So I'm going to put a little bit on some greens and see what this tastes like. All right, so I've got some mixed greens here, and they're like little baby greens, and I put a little bit of dressing on. And let's give that a try. Wow. Yeah, it's just creamy. It's a little bit thinner than what you would buy at the store, but it is so delicious and so fresh. And with these fresh herbs, you just can't beat it. You're not going to get that in a bottle. Give this a try. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope it's inspired you to make salad dressings at home. If you like this video, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to be notified when new videos are uploaded, please click on the bell below. Thanks for watching.